I've got a friend named Fitch who recently implored me to stop using personal attacks when arguing against his religion. And for Fitch to completely understand the next level of this conversation, he's going to have a few of his brain cells multiply and stop being such a religious caveman, and maybe rub some ointment on that emotional vaginitis he's got. This video is going to be a defense of using personal attacks when you are fighting someone's belief in a religion. I intend this video to be a companion to the Phil Helene's video in defense of disrespect. It really laid some of the groundwork for what I'm about to explain to people. For a visual prop, I've got a piece of paper and 3 Sharpies. Now, what I've drawn here is a diagram of someone's personal beliefs. Now, on the outside here, we have the unimportant and impersonal thoughts that someone might have. And right here we have the price of tea in China. Right here we have who wins America's Top Model. And right here on the edge between the unimportant thoughts that someone has in their daily lives and their held beliefs, we have whether or not the show Doctor Who gets canceled now that all of the more attractive actors and actresses that were on the show have moved on to other things. Now, on the inside of this circle within these thoughts are held beliefs. And these are beliefs that, if they changed, they wouldn't necessarily destroy your life or your life as you knew it. Some of these beliefs could be how organisms evolved on this planet, or what's the value of pi, or what is the moral thing to do, voting Republican or Democratic, or should we teach children about God in schools, or have a time in schools where they should pray, or exclude religion from government altogether. Now, as skeptics or freethinkers or atheists, we might come across religious people who have something in their core belief set that affects all of these other ideas. And in this core belief set, what I'm describing is a mental virus. A viral meme that starts in the core belief set, and it attaches itself with relations to your family, your friends, your job, your morals. And when something gets in this core belief set, if it changes, your whole life is different. You could say that you are reborn, or your entire past life just died. All of these would be great analogies for what happens when one of your core beliefs is changed. Now, in the case of religion being a mental virus, it tends to reach out beyond the core beliefs and start touching some of the held beliefs, even some of the more unimportant things. I'll sketch that out for you right here. Okay. So, when religion starts to reach out to the other beliefs that someone has and start to color their decisions on those topics, skeptics are normally there to completely destroy the arguments that religion makes on those topics. Now, on the outside right here, I'm going to use the example of Harry Potter. It doesn't really matter in someone's day-to-day life whether or not they see the movie Harry Potter, but religion can tell people that Harry Potter is full of witchcraft and that Harry Potter should be avoided and you shouldn't show it to children. And back in my day, it was Star Wars. You know, it was full of the Force, which is a mockery of religion and should not be shown to children. Now, rational skeptics were there in both instances to completely destroy that argument and cut the tie between religion and entertainment. Rationally thinking skeptics were also there to make the argument against teaching religion in schools. They were also there to make the argument against having religion run a government. They were also there hundreds of years ago to teach people that the sun does not revolve around the earth and that the earth is not the center of the universe. They were also there to teach people that the world is older than 6,000 to 10,000 years old. And they used a few different scientific models to prove that. You know, there's radiocarbon dating, and there's just the fact that there's stars that are, you know, billions of light years away. Some very good-hearted, rationally thinking skeptics also taught people that slavery is immoral and that people should have equal rights. Now, what some really kind-hearted, rationally thinking skeptics like to do is go ahead and do preemptive arguments against some of the perceived evils that they see in the world. Now, I have gone ahead for some of my religious friends, and I have talked about sin in a way that, you know, they never presented me with their ideas of sin, and I have gone ahead and argued against the concept of sin altogether in different ways. And when I do this, sometimes they say, oh, well, you're just doing a straw man argument because I don't really believe that. You know, you're talking about a concept of sin that I don't hold. Now, that is true. I am straw manning. I am doing a series of preemptive straw man attacks, but when I am done with this entire series of preemptive straw man attacks, I will have covered any and every possible way that you could think about sin and completely debunked it and proven that it's wrong to teach anyone. Now, I have another friend, his name is Chris. He likes to talk about the subject of hell to his religious friends. And he has made arguments, large arguments, sweeping arguments, which prove that hell is a concept that is wrong to teach to people. And when he is done teaching every different way that hell is wrong to teach to people, he will have covered everything about it. And people won't be able to perform theological whack-a-mole and say, well, I don't hold that belief, I hold this belief, and you can't catch me here, you can't catch me there. He will have completely covered the subject. Now up to this point on the diagram, you can see that all of the logical arguments fall outside of the core belief system. Now, once you have completely argued against every connection that religion has to regularly held beliefs that aren't core to someone's value system, what religious people tend to do is fall back on, well, I have a personal relationship with my deity, or I have a personal relationship with my friend Jesus. When that happens, if you are a friend to them, you have to get personal. Attacking beliefs in someone's core belief system causes pain. It's not a bad pain. It's very much like when a surgeon goes in to cut out cancer with a scalpel. There will be swelling and inflammation for weeks to come, depending on how far they had to dig and how much tissue they had to remove. But it's a good thing to remove these viral thoughts from people. If left unchecked, the viral memes of religion spread to other people. And when they do, they like to make these connections with all of these other beliefs all over again. And rational skeptics are there to debunk those arguments all over again. But it's a vicious cycle. It is much better to go after someone's core beliefs and start attacking them on a personal level, where you might shake up their ties with their friends, and you might discuss their family, and you might tell them that they're doing something wrong in the profession that they're trying to perform. And if that profession so happens to be ministry, I would like to offer you the example of Edward Tart. He's a former Catholic priest, and when I think about him now rallying against religion later in his life, he has this problem with his generativity. He's trying to be productive and give something back to the world. But you see, if he was not a Catholic priest in the prime of his life, he might have children that would have been born during that time that he could teach and, give to the world in that way. He doesn't have those children that would have been born during the prime of his life. Many Catholic priests who leave the clergy also suffer the same fate. And what I am getting at by pointing that out is that it is a hell of a lot more humane to start hurting someone with personal attacks about their core beliefs than to let them go on believing the way that they do. And those of us who have been cured of the mental virus that is religion would be doing a good thing by sharing this cure with other people.